We're going to cover the latest on Terry McLaurin and Micah Parsons as we are just 2 weeks away from Dallas taking on Philadelphia in the NFL season opener. Plus, a series of small trades went down yesterday. Wanted to kind of rapid fire react to those as well. This is Four Verts. My name is Harrison Graham. Before we get into all of that, I want to know, been talking to my bosses here at Chat Sports, might do some more live streams here on Four Verts. Maybe it's some NFL Sunday hangout streams. Maybe it's a little Thursday night football stream every once in a while. Would you guys be interested in more live content on this channel? Would you tune in? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Let me know if you would join us. Okay, let's get to McLaurin first, as Tom Pelissero had an update on him as he is reportedly ramping up behind the scenes. He's been taken off the PUP list, so from an injury standpoint, he is fine. Obviously, the contract stuff is ongoing. He said the coming days are going to be telling. Does Washington make one more offer to try and get something done with McLaurin? McLaurin has requested a trade, but it doesn't sound like Washington has really explored that option. They still anticipate having McLaurin on the roster. Look, a lot of the reporting would suggest that Terry and his agent were asking for a lot of money. And I think the guarantees, he has said, and it has been reported that, the DK 33 per year, like he would take something in that ballpark, maybe even a touch less. But I think it's the guarantees that he wants, because DK only got 60 guaranteed. I'm guessing he wants at least 70. And I still think he holds a lot of power here. I've maintained this throughout the last couple of months. What are you going to do if you're Washington? You rolling into week one with Deebo Samuel and a bunch of scrubs? I don't think so. I think that's a terrible proposition. And I know Deebo's had a good camp, but all right, man, if I'm game planning for the Commanders without Terry McLaurin, I am press manning Deebo Samuel, and I'll sag a safety over there. I know he can't beat man coverage consistently, but I can still give a little extra help over there. And then I'm going to see if, Luke McCaffrey can beat me. I'm guessing that he can't. So I just think that this situation with the Commanders having all of this positive momentum for the first time in decades as a franchise, you're not going to make your wide receiver one whole. I don't see it ended up playing out that way. I still think this gets done, even though it doesn't sound like there's a ton of new momentum for a contract. Subscribe to the channel if Terry McLaurin gets extended or traded, or if something else happens. We, of course, will cover that. Daily videos here, the latest news, rumors. We react to all the trade buzz out there, trades starting to fly around before roster cutdown day. Much more, including primetime game reactions, Sunday recap shows as well. Football season is here, and we have you covered. Plus, I'll have my college football playoff 12-team prediction video out soon. So for you college fans, stay looking for that. Okay, Micah Parsons, what is the latest there? Talked about Micah yesterday, as Schefter recently said that he thinks we could be heading for a divorce here, whether it's this year or next offseason. Well, Brian Schottenheimer, the esteemed Brian Schottenheimer, the Cowboys head coach, says that he expects Parsons to play in week one, which again is 2 weeks from tonight. So even if he signed today or ended this hold-in today, there'd be a decent ramp-up period. So the clock is ticking to have him reasonably ready to go for week one. Pelissero added this as well when it comes to Micah. He said, from my understanding, there is no movement in terms of a contract extension that is expected to make Parsons the highest paid non-QB in NFL history. There is still no communication between the Cowboys and Parsons' agent about trying to get a deal done. The Cowboys have a history of getting these deals done late, but in those cases, talking about Dak and CD, there were long-standing months of negotiations that went into those deals. With Parsons, there's been no talks whatsoever since Micah and Jerry talked in March, and of course, that's when Jerry said we had a handshake agreement. Deal was done. Well, got to talk to the agent, Jerry. 2 weeks away, man. If he's going to play in the opener, realistically, this probably has to be handled within, 7 or 8 days. I guess if he showed up the Wednesday before, or I guess not the Wednesday since they play Thursday, the Monday before Thursday Night Football, I'd still play him, I guess. This is Micah Parsons we're talking about. But, I don't care what he's doing behind the scenes from a workout standpoint. He's probably not going to be full throttle that opening game unless this gets done in the next couple of days, which it certainly doesn't sound like that's going to be the case. Right now, his fifth-year option's at, $24 million or so that would make him the ninth highest paid edge in the NFL. He clearly deserves more than that. We could debate all day long, is he better than Myles Garrett, TJ Watt? Even if the answer is no, like you're gonna have to offer him something in that ballpark. Why? Because he's 4 and 5 years younger. He's still ascending as a player. So if you want to keep him, that's what it's going to take, and especially the guaranteed money. It's going to have to be over $100 million. So I don't know what happens here. Micah showed up to camp in good faith, and then Jerry started firing bullets from the podium for some reason. I don't really get that. And listen, if they want, I could even hear Dallas out if they don't want to make him the highest paid and they'd rather trade him. It's like, okay, then trade him then. Clearly there's interested teams. We know Green Bay's interested. I'm sure 8 to 10 other teams would make strong offers as well. I just think that I would trust the McLaurin situation to get resolved before this Micah one, because Micah seems just kind of fed up at this point. Sure, if they offered him the Myles Garrett deal, he would probably take it, but anything short of that, I'm not sure he does. Maybe he just sucks it up and plays out the fifth-year option and tries to force his way out next year. Dallas could still franchise tag him, of course, but not sure what would happen there either. So pretty much a standstill when it comes to Micah and Dallas. Who do you guys think ends up signing first? Do you think it's Terry McLaurin, or do you think it's Micah Parsons? Type TM for McLaurin or MP for Parsons, and give us your thoughts on that. All right, trades are starting to fly around. Obviously, 2 players we just talked about have requested trades. We'll see if they actually end up getting moved or not. But with roster cutdown day approaching, next Tuesday, August 26th, teams have to trim to 53-man rosters. You're starting to see these classic late-round pick swap type of trades because, one team might have an extra receiver that they can't keep, but another team might need a receiver. So you're starting to see movement. The Jets got Harrison Phillips from the Vikings, sent a couple of 6, got a 7th back. Good run stuffer on the defensive line. The Jets' D-line is more of a pass-rushing unit, so adding Harrison Phillips and Jawan Briggs, 2 kind of beefy defensive linemen. They got Briggs from the Cleveland Browns. Certainly makes some sense in that regard. So I liked those moves. Devon Vele ends up going to the Saints. This is the one that caught people's attention because the Saints sent a 4th and a 7th for him for a decent player, but a second-year receiver who's 27 years old. And by the way, I don't know if old Mickey Loomis is aware, you're not going to be very good. You don't need to be trading away draft picks for this season. If they're shocking the world and they're better than expected and contending, okay, at the trade deadline you can revisit. But what, is Devon Vele going to make Tyler Shuck or Spencer Rattler a top 15 NFL quarterback? I don't think so. This team could be really bad. I don't like this move whatsoever. I like Vele the player. I actually think he's decent, but pretty easy move for Denver. They got 5 receivers in that room that they like. So you get a early day 3 pick likely. I mean, the Saints could be a top 5 pick in the 4th round. So plus you get a 7th, pretty easy decision there. And then Sky Moore gets flipped to San Francisco, who's had a million injuries at receiver. Classic late round pick swaps there between the 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. So a few trades that went down there. Not really sure what the Saints are doing. I'm still, a small part of me is intrigued with Sky Moore. I do wonder if just a fresh scene for him could help. Kyle Shanahan's a smart guy. Maybe they can get him going. Getting open's never been the issue for him. He just has had untimely drops, ball handling issues. He's muffed some punts, but maybe a fresh scene could be good for him. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of For Verts. Be sure to check us out on social media. Instagram's right there at 4VertsIG. You can also subscribe to the channel for daily and free content. We will be back tomorrow with another episode, so see you then.